today's a big one because we're leaving Interlaken behind. We're changing cities, passing Brienz and Lake Brienz, and going on to Zermatt. And we'll soon be taking the route of the Glacier Express, making our way. We'll be going to a little village called Thun, changing trains. When you travel on the trains, you carry your own suitcases because there's no porters in the train stations. So it's a good idea to bring a smaller, medium-sized suitcase, maybe 24 inches, and put it right on the train with you. We help each other out with the suitcases on the train itself, and getting on to a scenic panorama type train car that really gives us a nice view. After staying in Zermatt for a few days, we'll be crossing the country once again on that famous Glacier Express train. We're going from one spectacular mountain resort to another. Water is the staff of life, and with this raging river you'd think there's plenty of water to spare, but actually it does not rain very much. The people are relying upon the water that comes down from the melted glaciers up in the mountaintops. These exceptionally narrow and beautiful valleys make it possible to channel the water for intensive irrigation projects. This, combined with greenhouses and advanced farming technology, makes this a very productive area despite the rocky terrain and the general lack of rainfall. Arriving in the town of Zermatt, our efficient baggage team gets the bags right off the train. Very simple to do, and then everybody grabs their own suitcases and pulls them through the train station. And now in this case the hotel is right across the little lane from the train station, so it only takes us a few minutes to walk from the train right to our hotel. Couldn't be more convenient than that. It's called the Alex Schloss Hotel Tenne, and it's a nice little spot. It's a family-owned and operated hotel. Nice living room here. Just has about 45 rooms. There's a whole number of smaller bed and breakfasts and 2-star hotels, 3-star hotels. It's fun to sit outdoors in the summertime. It's pleasant temperature. You have really a wide range of choices in your accommodations as well as in your dining. As for the town itself, it has retained a surprising number of unspoiled buildings and fascinating shops, and in places it still retains the character of an Alpine village. Zermatt's narrow streets and the sheer number of visitors make it immediately apparent why motor vehicles had to be excluded from the town. It inevitably adds to the pleasure of walking around the town, the only threat being from these horse-drawn carriages or sleighs and the electric vehicles that carry luggage between the station and the hotels. One curious thing that happens every day in Zermatt is this herd of goats comes marching through town. They live on one side of the village and their pasture is on the other side of the village. So to get there, they exercise their historic right to walk right through the middle of town. This ritual is repeated on a much bigger scale during the seasons when the cows come home. Right away we're off on another mountain adventure. Just next to our hotel is the Gornergrat Mountain Railroad. This is a narrow gauge rack railroad that's going to take us up past some stunning views of the Matterhorn. That's the signature site of Zermatt. The famous Matterhorn. We'll show you quite a bit of different angles of the Matterhorn during our visit here in Zermatt. And we're going further up this Gornergrat that will show us other views of many peaks in the surrounding mountain range. We're staying on the train and riding to the top, where we're going to have some great views of Monte Rosa and other mountains in the surrounding vista. You're surrounded by 25 different peaks that are over 12,000 feet high when you get to the top of the Gornergrat, and then reaches a very high altitude. In fact, the Gornergrat will take us to the highest open-air train station in all of Europe, over 10,000 feet high. From here you can get a view of the tallest mountain that's completely within the country, Monte Rosa, 15,000 feet high. The mountain is straddled by 2 glaciers, the Gorner and the Grat. This line does not use any tunnels, so it's also the highest open rack railway in Europe. It's quite a superlative adventure. From this spot you can see more high peaks than any other place in the Alps. This is the place, the Gornergrat, and especially with the Matterhorn. So we're quite happy to be up here. You have to walk up this final couple of 100 yards to get to the very top observation platform, and from there you get this stunning panorama. So don't stop just at the top of the train station or at the restaurant or at the cafe terrace. You want to get to the top, the very top. Easy to get up there, and you will be rewarded with this unbelievable vista. Our happy little group from Hawaii. It's not that cold, it's just barely freezing and it's sunny, there's no wind, really ideal conditions. This is Dennis Callan for Hawaii Geographic Society, taking you to the Gornergrat mountain. We're at the top of the Alps here in Switzerland, enjoying a fabulous view. You get to see about 20 mountain peaks all around you, 360 degrees in this vast panorama, and each of these peaks is over 12,000 feet high. We're very much in the heart of the Alps. This viewing station at the top of the Gornergrat lets you see more high mountain peaks than any other viewing peak in all the Alps. So it's really a superlative place to be. We're surrounded by mountains that are 12,000 feet high. It's really quite an amazing feeling to be standing here amidst such grandeur. And behind me is the most massive of the mountains here. It's Monte Rosa. Fabulous, big, hulking mountain covered with snow with a glacier streaming down from it. It's a beautiful day up here. The temperature is something like 50 degrees. It doesn't feel cold at all. The sun is out, people have shorts on, and yet we're surrounded by snow and mountain peaks. There's glaciers all around us. It's really a fabulous experience at the Gornergrat. One of the things to do when you're staying in Zermatt, you just ride the Gornergrat Railroad up. It takes 40 minutes to ride up to this altitude. It'll cost you about $35 for the round trip, and you get this magnificent view of the mountains. Many Swiss will tell you that the view from the Gornergrat of the Matterhorn and its satellite peaks with Zermatt way below is the best view in the Alps, and they just might be right. We're going to make our way back into Zermatt and have a stroll around. This has just been our first afternoon in town. It's been a nice introduction to the mountain peaks and the vistas that we can gain. There's several other rack railways and cable cars that we'll be picking from in the next few days that we're staying here in Zermatt. We'll be having our breakfasts and dinners together here at the hotel. Generally we have breakfast together every day on our trips with Hawaii Geographic Society, and lunch and dinner is on your own, but in this hotel we had the dinner included as well.